The scales are in our hands. Tonight, we learn to use them. We stand under a profoundly harmonious new moon in Libra, the sign of peace and balance. It arrives on October 21st. Whenever we work with a lunation, we honor its ruler, and Libra belongs to Venus. Right now, Venus, the goddess of love, also in Libra, her own temple. When a planet occupies its home sign, it speaks with maximum strength. So here we have the goddess of love and beauty enthroned within the symbol of peace and harmony. At the very same time, the sky composes something even more melodious. A Grand Water Trine linking Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn in Pisces, and Mercury conjoined with Mars in Scorpio. It's a living circuit of emotional intelligence, wisdom, and flow. An invitation to feel more deeply, trust your intuition, and let compassion lead. Take note as well that Jupiter is firmly in Cancer now, strengthening this protector healer current moving through the collective. And although a new moon signals a beginning, this one blooms at the end of Libra, a mature beginning. We're initiating from experience, not naivete. The seed carries the wisdom of what Libra season has already revealed. This week at a glance, on October 19th and 20th, Mercury conjunct Mars in Scorpio is exact. This is about brave, truth-telling energy. Speak cleanly and don't scorch earth right before intention setting. On October 21st, the Libra New Moon anchors everything I'm sharing here. On October 22nd, Neptune retrogrades back into Pisces. A spiritual undertone returns. Mysticism, compassion, and closure work. On October 22nd and 23rd, the Sun enters Scorpio. Conversations deepen. Privacy, honesty, and repair work take center stage. Evolutionary astrology always honors your divine right, free will, and focused intent. These planetary influences describe the energetic weather, not a fixed destiny. How we meet that weather, individually and collectively, is up to us. I love astrology. It's been my life's devotion, and I keep it in its proper place, somewhere south of consciousness. It reveals patterns and timing. Consciousness chooses meaning. The future is a field of probabilities shaped by awareness. When we understand the lesson each configuration offers, we can engage with it consciously. Bring higher thoughts, emotions, intentions, and actions, and you will align with your higher self and accelerate evolution. Meet those same energies with fear or anger. You'll still learn, of course, only more through friction and pain. Where attention goes, energy flows. What you send returns. That's the law of cause and effect and the law of karma. New moons are about beginnings. Collectively, humanity is trying to pivot towards Libran ideals, peace, harmony, and balance. We are not guaranteed to achieve them. We never are. But that is a core evolutionary intention of the sky. With peace as the focus, many hearts and minds will be drawn towards reconciliation, fairness, and justice. And yet, every front has a back. The yearning for peace can stir its opposite, which we will explore shortly. This Grand Water Trine draws magnificent geometry across the heavens, linking Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn in Pisces, and the Mars-Mercury conjunction in Scorpio. Water signs speak the language of the emotional plane, feeling, intuition, instinct. Jupiter, the greater benefic, brings optimism and faith. Mars and Saturn bring willpower and discipline. Together, they summon great effort towards emotional mastery translated into purposeful action. Saturn in Pisces evokes the mystic, the wizard archetype, wisdom, compassion, and emotional maturity. Collectively, we are being asked to evolve, to grow up emotionally in service of peace and harmony. Jupiter in Cancer symbolizes the healer and protector, the impulse to safeguard what is precious. Even amid discord, Jupiter behaves like a steadfast friend who believes in you when you've lost faith in yourself, helping rebuild optimism and trust in a harmonious future. And right back to the new moon. Neptune slips back into Pisces on October 22nd, amplifying the mystical undertone and doubling down on the water emphasis for the weeks ahead. Mars conjunct Mercury in Scorpio, exact on October 19th and 20th, brings the courage to speak truth with precision and care. Keep it clean as you move into your new moon intentions. Sometimes it takes tremendous bravery to voice fierce truths, to pierce denial and echo chambers that reinforce rigid beliefs. This alignment seeks to transform mental rigidity in the collective, cutting through illusions so deeper truth can emerge, even when that truth is a tough pill to swallow. The high potential here is uplifting and inspiring, but it's never guaranteed. How could we go wrong? One way is when calls for peace turn violent. During a Libra new moon, peace is the aim, but Libra's shadow is suppressed resentment, frustration that accumulates from too much compromise over time. When those bottled emotions lose compassion, Mars and Saturn in water signs can trigger reactive emotional aggression. The call for peace then comes charged with anger and righteous indignation instead of love and understanding. Mars and Mercury in Scorpio can become the tongue of a bloodthirsty warrior, cutting deep without care for the wounds left behind. The scales of Libra would then tip wildly out of balance, justice pursued in rage rather than grace. And here the shadow of Jupiter appears. In Cancer, its protective instinct can swell into hubris, convinced it's defending the innocent while unknowingly creating more harm. Part of the challenge is that protectiveness can collide with an old I am wound. This is linked to Jupiter being square to Chiron in Aries, which could manifest as over-defending as a stand-in for feeling vulnerable. If you notice that reflex, slow your breath and choose de-escalation. We sprinkle in a little Pluto in Aquarius. Group mind polarizes fast. Guard against ideological mob energy. Let Libra's scales introduce nuance. As we pivot from the collective to the personal, a reminder, these videos are generalized for a wide audience. If you want a more precise understanding of your current evolutionary tasks, you can explore my personal readings at my website, bryancolter.com. In your chart, look to where this Libra new moon lands, the house it occupies. That life area is where your new beginning wants to unfold. If you don't yet know how to read your chart, I have a 40-minute tutorial on my website. I'll put a link in the show description below. Libra is cardinal. It wants action. Choose one concrete step in that house this week. A small, visible move towards harmony you can complete in under an hour. Then consider how to bring more Libra qualities, balance, harmony, and cooperation into that part of your life. The evolutionary question becomes, how can I put my peace foot forward? Balance isn't a statue, it's a moving equilibrium. Think about following the so-called middle path. Not over-tightening and not going limp. Just enough tension to keep harmony alive within motion. Use the mirror law gently. Whatever triggers you in the other is an invitation to refine your own stance. Not to self-blame, but to reclaim agency. These last years have been hard, there's no doubt about it, collectively and personally. We've endured a lot. Here's the good news. Wisdom grows from those trials, but they aren't peaceful. So during this lunation, and as Venus continues through Libra, relax the reflex for constant struggle and cultivate harmony instead. Try to become the eye of the storm, calm, centered, unmoving, like a monk radiating peace amid the world's noise. Earth may be the school of hard knocks, but you don't have to be tossed by every gust. As for the Grand Water Trine in personal terms, cultivate emotional maturity and stability within yourself. You may need to speak pointed truths to those you love, but do it from a spirit of compassion with no expectation of outcome. With Jupiter in the mix, ask yourself, how am I underestimating myself? Add Jupiter in Cancer. How am I underestimating my ability to heal, both myself and others? Jupiter here invites a glass half full emotional stance, an undeterred joy in the face of whatever comes. In regards to Saturn retrograde in late Pisces and Neptune nearby, the evolutionary work clarifies. Recommit to a consistent spiritual or meditation practice. Review, redo, and refine your habits and boundaries. Saturn favors regularity and discipline. So ask yourself, what sweat equity will I invest in my spiritual development? With Neptune's return to Pisces on the 22nd, the field is primed for compassion, forgiveness, and subtle inner listening to support that practice. Because Libra is an air sign, add a 60-second breath reset daily this week. Inhale through the nose for 4 or 6 seconds. Exhale through the mouth for 4 or 6 seconds, evenly. No pause between the in-breath or the out-breath. In the inhale, invite clarity. On the exhale, release reactivity. Simple, powerful, repeatable. With Neptune near Saturn and Aries rising on the horizon, the archetype of the spiritual warrior is highlighted. One of the most potent approaches now is active dynamic meditation, such as Kundalini or Kriya Yoga or Qigong. There are others, of course, but those stand out. On that note, I offer a consciousness coaching package through my website, where I train people one-on-one in very advanced Qigong to accelerate spiritual development during the season of the spiritual warrior. I'll put a link below. Now let's bring all these threads together. This Libra New Moon invites a collective breath, a reminder that peace doesn't descend from above, it is created through countless small acts of emotional maturity. The Grand Water Trine opens the channel again, letting empathy and faith circulate through the collective heart. If we meet these energies with courage, honesty, and compassion, they become a healing tide. If we meet them with fear and reactivity, they become a flood. The choice is ours. Practice forgiveness, speak truth with love, build spiritual strength through steady devotion. The more peace you cultivate within yourself, the more peace the world gains through you. These are the core evolutionary intentions, with the goal being to expand our consciousness. Thanks for listening.